As I read the theme, I was lost in my thoughts. The cacophony. Isn't this a fair comparison to the chaos in our lives? It's like the elephant in the room. We all know about the chaos in our lives, but we can do very little to overcome it. I feel my life is the best example of cacophony. And today I'll share my story. Story of love and hate with chaos and how I won over it. Before I begin, I want to ask you all a question. What is the biggest source of chaos in your life? The answer is making the choice. Isn't it? It's the decision that you have to make. What choice you will make. And of course, it creates stress. We're doing it all the time. We're making choices all the time, consciously, unconsciously. Like, for example, what to buy. When there's a sale going on, you think, what should I buy? And it creates stress sometimes. Because if there's a sale, there's so many options, and you want to buy everything, but you cannot. Similarly, a night before exam, that's a choice you make what to study. And the more choices. Why, as you grow up, you make choices for beauty, for retirement plans, medical care, and so many other things. How these choices impact our lives is the important thing. So I made a lot of choices, we all do, but my choices were for my career. I thought as a child in school that career is the biggest thing and I have to make the best decision. So making a choice about it should be given the most time. So I'll start how I make choices in different phases of my life. My first phase was the realization phase. When I was in class 12th, I remember very clearly, everyone around me was talking about the best career, the best college they were planning to get into. And I was also a part of that crowd, but I did not understand that how should I decide? What is the process? And I really wanted to know that these my friends, my classmates, they know that they want to do something like engineering or doing law or medical. How do they know it? So I spoke to them. I got to know that most of them were either influenced by their seniors, their cousins, their other friends, and the amount of awareness that they have. Some had parental pressure, societal pressure that they have to take a particular thing. And even I got influenced by my peers. And I also started to think that I also should know what I have to do. But it stayed in my mind that it's a big decision because everybody was talking about that big decision. Everywhere you would go, they would ask, what are you going to do? And how are you going to do? So the next phase was the decision phase. Now, where do I go? Where should I know about the process, how to decide? I was very fortunate, I had no parental pressure or societal pressure. So when I asked my parents, they said, it should be your decision. Now when they said this, I felt more responsible because I thought that this decision, which I have to take for my career, is really important. And today, if I take any decision, what if it turns out to be wrong? I don't know, right? But the first thought is, what if it's wrong? So I thought that I'll take a gap year. I'll give myself 1 year time to experiment with things, and to know who I am and then decide what is the best career option for me. Then I took this brave step. I had the courage to decide that I'm going to take gap year, but within few months, I started doubting my choice because now my classmates, my friends were in college. They would post pictures, they would write where they're studying, and I was sitting at home. And it started creating stress. I started doubting, is it the right decision? Then I decided that I have given myself time and I should be fair with myself. So I should not get distracted by what others are doing and I should explore. So my next phase was the exploring phase. I decided to shift to Delhi and explore options there. And it really helped. When I was in Delhi, since it's our capital, there are a lot of conferences keep happening. I once visited Oxford Library. There was a book launch, and I met this writer who launched his book, and I was really inspired. Then, every Sunday, on all the conferences which were free, I would go and attend it. There I met interesting people. Air Force pilots, lawyers, entrepreneurs, and then I got exposed to the startup ecosystem. I got to know that there's something is startup where it's about innovation. I just understood that much. So I thought that, I should try exploring things in media. So I worked as an RJ. I did work as stylist in a fashion show. I did modeling. I thought that this is my year, so I learned Bharatanatyam and I gave my first stage performance. Now, in this 1 year, I got little clarity of who I am. And after meeting successful people in their fields, I realized that it's not important to know just after your 12th that what you're going to become. It's not compulsory for you to know which college you have to go to become the best in your career or to get the best career. So then I planned, since my 1 year was over, I planned to join a college and continuing experimenting and learning about myself and exploring more opportunities. Now, when I joined college, I told myself that these 3 years are my years and I have to make the best out of it. So from the very first day, I started exploring the best opportunities for me. And this was the rediscovering phase. I discovered a complete new me. I was a part of an initiative which used to provide better educational solutions and services to government school students. Getting inspired by that, I started my own outreach program to teach underprivileged kids. Now, this time, after this project, I felt something very different, something very fulfilling. I really felt that I've made difference in someone's life. My little effort has impacted someone's life and as a whole in the society. This was the time when I realized my true passion. My true passion and my real interest was building products that help society or that can impact any way in society. So I co-founded my first startup, My Child app, in 2015. This was a mobile application which used to diagnose developmental disorders at an early stage. And it used to spread awareness to parents regarding any issues related to disorders. And our team's effort helped more than 70,000 parents. And it got us featured on Forbes 30 Under 30. Now this was the validation that what I have chosen for myself or what I am doing is something that I love, and it's also impacting the society. And it can be a career. Then I started working with NGOs. I started collaborating in their research work to get more knowledge, more in on-field knowledge about everything that was happening in the society. And I was happy doing my work. Couple of years later, I happened to meet my friends in a reunion. And they told me, most of them were not happy. They were stressed, they were cribbing, and they were regretting the choices they made. I was really sad. And this problem, what they shared with me, stayed with me. When I came back, I went on thinking that how I am happy is because I found the right thing which inclines with my natural strengths. And after speaking to more people, I realized that finding the right career and staying happy with it is a really big problem. And this is one very common problem we all face at some point of time in our lives is still unsolved. That's when I decided that I am going to find a solution to this problem. If not for everyone, but for my friends at that point of time. And I dived deeper into it. I started interviewing counselors, I started meeting people, I understood mental wellness, how stress is related to our choices, and then I thought of building a product. But while my research, I got to know about a phenomena called paradox of choices. It says when you have lot of choices, and you have to choose without a definitive structure, it becomes difficult for you to choose the right thing. This is the graph of paradox of choice. There's a very simple example how our emotions are connected with our choices and the decisions. When a mom gives us one vegetable which is cooked at home, we eat it. It is offered to us, we eat it, no emotions attached. We are not happy, we are not sad. No positive, nothing, no negative. But when we have few manageable choices, and when we have to pick from that, we feel happy. We feel positive. Why? Because we feel we have autonomy to decide. And then, since the stakes are not high, like there are few manageable choices, you can easily decide or choose what you want. But when these few manageable choices increases, then it creates stress. For example, if you open your food or app and if you have to order something, you have lot of options. You can go for biryani, sandwich, burger, so many. And it's difficult to choose what you have to eat. What do we do most of the times? We close it and keep it. And in real, we take more time than eating to select the food on an app. So the most stress is created when we have lot of choices. So I realized that the solution should have minimal choices for the people as per their interests to find the best career. And, and that's when I started up Psychics. So in Psychics, it's a multi-dimensional psychometric assessment. It's in this, the questions are based on your strengths, your weaknesses, your behavioral patterns. The test gives you your personality type. Whenever an individual takes up the career assessment, you receive a multi-dimensional report where you get to know your personality type, your strengths, your weaknesses, your behavioral patterns, and with the help of artificial intelligence, we map it to the accurate career or the closest career path for you. And then we have human intervention, the experts and the counselors who help you reach to the goal. This is something that I build with an intention to help my friends. But now when I hear the success stories, it's been used by school students, college students, and working professionals. Most of the college students have the doubt. They're very indecisive when it comes, they've taken the majors, they're doing the studies. But there's always this indecisiveness that what should I do and how should I do? Very simple example, they're confused that should I do data analysis or data scientist? And here, this assessment, as per your natural inclinations, your strengths and your behaviors, tells you what you should do. Now, the assessment tells you what you should do, and the experts tell you how you should do. Now, with this, I learned. When I get the success stories, I obviously feel validated. I feel good that it's helping a lot of people. But I learned something in my journey of life. That is, no choice is the best choice. You know, I made lot of choices, and what I am today is the result of my choices. I took time and I figured out, okay, I love building products and I want to make impact in society. So I did my graduation in computer applications where I learned to build products, and I did my research and I worked with NGOs to know how psychology works. And then we created this platform, PsychX, for students, for everyone to know who they are. Now, coming back to the learnings, no choice is the best or good or bad choice. Every choice has its own merits and demerits. Second is, we always should reduce the choice. Because if we'll have lot of options, lot of variables will be associated with it. And for that, we'll need lot of resources to choose. So it's good to eliminate choices and then make the decision. In the end, I'd like to say that life is a one big continuous choice. You will never know if you'll ever make the right one. So enjoy your life and love your life. Thank you.